So with YouTube, one thing that I've noticed is like there are two different types of creators. All of them work. So if you decide on going with one, like if you look at Mr. Beast, then look at Ryan Trahan, you see that they are both separate, but they all get the views that they want to generate. So if you look at, let's say you want to go with Ryan Trahan. So what is Ryan Trahan doing? How is he structuring his intro? How is he structuring his thumbnails? How is he structuring the content, right? So once you have a structure towards the type of videos.
Welcome to the Shifan Show. This episode is brought to you by Prosperum Digital. Growing a business in 2026 is tough if you're not using the right systems. Heck, a lot of businesses still run on manual, outdated, stressful processes that pulls focus away from revenue and sales. That's where Prosperum comes in. We install AI automation systems that modernize your business, increasing the revenue and sales without the extra stress or having to hire extra staff members. And we give you back the most important thing as a business owner, which is your time, so you can actually enjoy running your business again. Book a call at www.prosperumdigital.com.au.
All right, today I'm very excited to have my buddy Alex Humado back on the pod. He's the founder of Symphony Publishing and is actually sharing his journey online and openly, having spent 548 days building his publishing agency online. He previously hit a stumbling block, returned back to God for direction, and returned with a goal to seek the will of God while still being a blessing to others and still adding value. Welcome back, Alex.
Hey man, thank you so much, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and then also like seeing what you've been doing online. And man, 548, 53 plus days like building the public is crazy, man. And I give God all the glory. So thank you for having me back. So this is like the second time we are being on the podcast. Is really an honor that I'm a returnee. So yeah.
All good, man. I think there's consistency there as well. You're doing like over 500, like now I think 550 days or something now.
Yeah.
It's very cool to see where you're up to as well. But I mean, we kind of had a bit of a quiet year in 2025 in terms of communication. So I'd love to hear what you've been up to since then, man.
Yeah. So in 2025, I believe getting to like prior to like 6 months, getting to December, like things weren't like working, man. Like tried everything, do outreach, trying to get clients, trying to get partners. And the thing that really like one thing that they say is like the thing that breaks the camel's back is like I had this partner that we were working with on YouTube. We were helping them grow their YouTube channel, and since like it's a publishing deal, so we've been helping them for free without getting paid for a very, very long time, for about 3 getting to 4 months. We've helped them like with their channel, and when it got to the time we were supposed to create the offer, like start selling the offer, they were taking a lot of time like getting back to us in terms of, okay, you guys need to do this, we need to build this out, we need to like have this digital product ready and going. And it was like taking a long time, man, because that's the only time we only get paid. We only get paid when we start selling the products. And since it's the real estate niche, every lead that we help them generate with their Facebook, with their YouTube, is going directly to them. That was like the deal that I wanted to uphold. I wanted them to keep the leads that they're getting from YouTube towards like the real estate properties that they are selling, right? So that to create some kind of goodwill towards what we can do.
Yeah.
But when it got to the stage where we are supposed to like create the digital products, then that was when the stalling began. So we told them that, hey, before we continue this service, we need to have an actual product that we are selling. Only then can we be confident and willing to like be in terms. And one thing that happened was like I have a team member that is the funnel designer, and one of the things that I do is like every money that I get comes from my pocket, so I pay from my pocket towards what he's doing. So sometimes we build the funnels because I don't want to leave him stranded. I'll take, okay, this is the money that I got from the side gigs that I'm doing, and then I'm giving it to like helping him out also, because I don't want to be the kind of person who would like say, since there's no money, no one is going to eat. It's going to be crazy. Like this person also needs to have something on the end to like rely on. And that was what happened. And when nothing was working, I just said, hey, things are not working. Then it just went to full on like, how do you even call it, like stress and not doing anything for quite some time. And one thing I really thank God for was before December, I got like a visit from my pastor, and then like they came to visit with one of my friends here. The good thing about um, having some kind of ministry and then having a relationship, like having a ministry I can rely on, is they have your back in some of these things. Like they are praying for you in the
Yeah.
back end. Sometimes you don't even know it. They're praying for you because sometimes God will reveal it to them that this is what is going on in this brother's life. You guys need to pray for him. He's going through this time. The enemy is trying to create this stumbling block for him. You guys need to pray for him. And that's what like saved me, brother. And I'm really like grateful for it, because with these prayers, I knew that, okay, what the enemy is trying to say about my life isn't true. What the enemy is trying to say
Yeah.
about my business isn't true. Because when I started Symphony Publishing, one thing that I did was we went on a prayer journey and fasting journey, that, hey, is this something that you want us to do, right? So I decided to do like a 7 day fasting and prayers. And on the second or third day, my pastor received a call from one of our church members that, hey, he had a dream about him working with me, and then this was like the business,
Wow.
we're hiring people, and God answered the prayers before the end of the 7 days. And because we got the answer early on, we were told to stop praying, because like we already had the answer. So God has already like confirmed Symphony Publishing to be a business that will bring glory to his name. So when I remembered that, I knew that, hey, what the enemy is trying to say was a lie, right? And
Yeah.
during that time, that was when I started learning about YouTube, how to really get good at it. And it's crazy, because once I started getting better at YouTube and helping other people, it was very easy for people to reach out that, hey, Alex, you are doing YouTube, and what is your thought on this? Hey, Alex, you're on YouTube. Like, the amount of conversations I had when it came to YouTube were more than when I was doing Office. More people, there are a lot of people that they can reach out to for Office, but when it came to YouTube, it was like, okay, Alex is the one doing it, let me just reach out. And the conversation was more than that, even though it didn't lead to any paid gigs. At that time, it was okay for me. And before long, God opened up the door. When I worked with like Offer, one of these guys at Offer Launch. I did like a consulting gig for the company. They help like skilled digital low ticket offers and then high ticket offers. So they also had like YouTube channels that they own, and then their customers and their clients also own. So I became like a
Yeah.
consultant with them, and through that I got a lot of experience in terms of having access to the back end of some of these businesses. And it was a great experience. And then now we are in 2026, and man, it's like, I believe if you read Psalms chapter 103 verse 1, it says that, bless the Lord, O my soul, and everything that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and
Yeah.
forget not all his benefits. And that scripture always like catches me, like, hey, Alex, don't forget what God has done. Even if things are not working, don't forget what God has done in the past, what he is doing, and just continue to remember that. So always remembering what God has done just keeps me going. And this year I said, hey, I'm just going to keep the moment. If nothing is working, I'll engage my email list. So if you see, I've started like emailing
Yeah.
daily, like stories, like trying to be on a journey where I continue to engage people. And then he also gave me a vision, and through my pastor, that, hey, Alex, you need to get better at speaking, like speaking English, especially when it comes to having a good like cadence when it comes to public speaking. And I've started a challenge. It's on the side. I don't share it with anyone, but every single day I take a classical. I go I record about 20 minutes of me reading classical advertisements. So Eugene Schwartz, like the founder of like Breakthrough Advertising. I look for this. I have
Nice.
I have a site file, about 500 of them, and then every single day I'm reading um a full sales page, then I'll post it on YouTube. Even though I don't get views, I just like let it be, just improving myself
and
into
everything.
So
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing since like the year began, and it's been going great.
Very good, man. So with the offer launch thing, that's the one with Damon, right?
Yeah, Damon, yes.
James, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out the guy. That guy's really cool. Shares a lot of cool stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. So like now, everything being said and done, like, because I also went through something similar last year, and I also started learning skills as well. Because I remember like wasn't more like I was kind of like want to see like how everything works together. Because before had a bit of like a slightly larger team, and we were able to like I was able to just delegate things I wasn't interested or good at, kind of thing, And then I was like, okay, how does everything actually work together? It's not just having like abstract macro level viewpoints about how some stuff was. It became like I started learning running ads, get back to copy, understanding how like the nitty-gritty stuff in the micro level actually works. So that really provides. Because I remember like watching a reel of somebody saying like, especially your even like in his larger agency or company, if something goes wrong, he can step in and do it himself until you find someone else to hire. If you you don't have the skills, is like what's the point? But I think I did it out more of a stressful thing I wanted to control more versus just for the sake of it. But with that being all said and done, like, so what are you up to now, 2026? Are you still focusing on YouTube? Are you still working as a consultant? Are you running your own offers now? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, so
in 2026 for you.
In 2026, one thing that we started working on. So one thing that I started doing last year was I started building an offer from 0 to 7K. That was with Gartra. He currently runs he teaches these guys in Sri Lanka how to run Facebook ads. So that was the major project that we worked on from last year, and then it fed into this year. So I reached out to him that, hey, I don't mind the money that I'll get on this. I just want to document this journey on YouTube, right? To share everything like from 0 to like whatever we get. And that was what like really took me from most people will say monk mode, like getting away from not doing anything to actually being on to something. So I told him that, hey, I want to help you build this thing out. I want to help you, like, let me just help you build it, but I want to record the journey. And he was like, okay, I'm open to do that. And I recorded the journey, the first call that we took. I published it on YouTube. Then after everything was said and done, I have this series that I did and shared it online, and that was what got me back on track. So after the offer, one thing that I'm also like planning to do, I believe would be in Easter, is like also like launching an offer of my own. Like I believe in 2024, I did this workshop where I like sold out like Zoom. I got a lot of people on Zoom in teaching them how to like write job posts, especially for the Nothing Held Back job board, and a lot of people showed up. So
I remember that one.
Since a lot of people showed up for that workshop and I got like a lot of people talking about it, why don't I create a different offer that's also like have my name on it? It's still going to be publishing, but instead of like high ticket, what Alan and Josh does, mine is going to be on like the low end side, in terms of, okay, a lot of people have reached out to me that, hey, they don't have experience helping clients scale to 100K per month. Like sometimes you reach out to these guys and you tell them that, hey, I want to publish, I want to help you create this digital offers. And what they want to see is that they want to see that you've gotten an offer to 100K plus, right? So because they are not getting that same result, almost all of these guys are getting now. So I was at church, and then this idea came to me while I was at church, and it was like, hey, why don't you create an offer that will teach these people how to take creators, like micro or niche creators, to make from 0 to 10K per month. That's easy to do. So the name that came up was micro publishers. So instead of you going after huge publishers, you just go for creators like micro influencers on the smaller scale of things, and then you help them like build a digital offer that can go from 0 to 10K. And then once you get that that trophy, it's very easy for you to just reach out to the bigger guys, because with Josh and Alan like this, not everyone has $500 or $3,000 in their bank account to afford these programs, right? So that's where I believe the offer that I'm working on comes in. So that's what I've been like praying about, thinking about, asking
Yeah.
my community about, hey, I'm trying to build this thing. Is this something you'd be interested in? And most of the guys, so I'm like still building it in public, and I'll go onto WhatsApp that, hey, this is my thoughts. This is the names that have come up. What do you think about it? Hey, if I do it, if it is a live workshop, do you want me to do it for entire 6 hours, or do you want me to break it down to 3 days? And then I get their feedback, and then I start like taking feedback, and then once I get everything ready, then it's on to like writing the sales. I'm going to launch it with Google Docs. I don't want to keep everything like complicated, because once I start like thinking about everything, it's going to be very difficult for me to launch. So I'll just like write the copy on Google Docs, launch it to my email list, and then see how God does. And the good thing about it is, in Ghana and then West Africa like this, most of these payment gateways don't work here. So I've been following Whop for quite some time now, and last year they opened up like payments, and it's crazy because now I can just directly take payments on their platform that leads directly to my bank account.
This is Whop.
Yes,
Whop. This is the Whop, WHOP.
Yes, the one that Josh uses. So like, it takes direct payment and then sends it to your bank account directly, and then there's no the pressure at which, like, we can't someone in Ghana like this cannot use Ghanaian details and bank like business details to create Stripe accounts. PayPal is banned here. Even Wise doesn't work well. So when I noticed that, hey, Stripe Whop is working, I want to be the one on the forefront actually bringing this. Yeah, because I went to the event. Not everyone knows about Whop. They only use the payment gateways that they know. But once I start with Whop and then I see the success with it, it's going to be very easy for me to tell people who come in that, hey, you're in Pakistan, you can use Whop to launch offers internationally. You are in Nigeria, you can use Whop, you can just connect it and it works. So I just want to be the one who is testing things out and then pushing it out, and that's that's what I've been working on.
Very cool. Almost can be like an affiliate with Whop itself. I mean, this part of the world where a lot of these other payment processes and payment platforms have been banned, or they're very slow, very restrictive. Let me be your funnel. in this part of the world kind of thing. That's very cool to hear, man. So like, a quick question actually, because like, sometimes people email a list or ask their customers or prospects or market like what they want, etc. Like in this case, you're asking your email list and your audience, okay, like if I was to launch a workshop about how to actually write a proper job post, like how do you decipher like, okay, this is what people want and they're willing to pay for, versus like, okay, it's just like, yeah, we love you, Alex, or we love the idea, but when it comes to down to them to pay, it's like nobody buys. Because like, ironically enough, last year I launched an offer with another publishing creator of mine. Nothing wrong, but it's just like, I think it was timing. But we found out that despite everybody saying, yeah, they're keen for this workshop, they actually wanted something else. I was like, dang, if I knew that properly, if I actually like, as the marketer guy behind her, if we knew that we actually get like proper sales in this kind of category. But everyone's like kind of cheering her on. So like, okay, we'll go with this flow. But I actually bombed in a good sense, good learning lesson, I guess. So how do you actually like decipher based on people's feedback? Okay, this is like what to do. This is what I should build before, in case it bombs as well.
For me, I'll not say I don't care about if it doesn't bomb. It would like, one thing that we learned, I believe, from Alan is that you don't attach like yourself to the offers you create, right? So that's like the kind of mindset that I go into like offers with this. But one of the things that I noticed, so I don't ask my email list, is I have about 759 people on the email list. There's little of that engaged, and what I do is I ask my the people I've brought onto WhatsApp. So during the 2 years that I've been active on Facebook from nothing else, but I've connected with a lot of people from Nigeria and Ghana here, right? And that are online. So I just tell them that, hey, since we are all in the same continent, you guys should join me on WhatsApp. I have a group there that I give them like resources for free. I sometimes we did Zoom calls, so they already know me, they already trust me, and I already know their situation. And sometimes when I see them going out there, so there was this guy in my group who is also interested in publishing, but he reached out to Josh about the program, like the certification that he's currently running, and that's about 3K. And I know for a fact that this guy doesn't have that money to pay for high ticket. For me, I have no problem investing into coaching, and I have no problem investing into high ticket programs. But for these guys, I know their money that they create, because that's how transparent they are with me about like where they are in their journey. So I know that, hey, they cannot afford this, but they can afford this amount. So if it is the same for them, it's going to be the same for someone on Facebook who doesn't know me yet. So I use them as like, I don't want to say guinea pig, but I use them as like my testing subject in terms my testing subject in terms of what they are interested in. So before I even launched the workshop on how to write job posts, I was helping them separately in the back end. Nobody knew about it. I was like helping them write their job posts. I'll do this Zoom course with them, and that's like questions that comes up during this course. So what I take from the course is what I bring onto my email list and then on social media, because if it is something that they are worried about, chances are it's something that someone else is worried about as well. So once I get the validation that, hey, these guys are interested in it, then I take it from private to public. So the WhatsApp group,
right?
Yeah. So when I created the WhatsApp group, it's because people were interested in me having a community. So I made it public and then created the Facebook group. So the Facebook group, I launched it, and now we have about 300 members in there. I'm not active on the, but that's like taking an idea that has been validated in private and bringing it into public. It's like what the Bible says, that if you pray in secret, God will see, and God sees it and blesses you in public. So that's like the same feedback loop that I use when it comes to my own thing and building out my own office.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. No, I like that actually. It's like, I think sometimes like you just gotta go with a bit of a gut feeling. I think I find sometimes there needs to be a bit of both, right? You can go through the whole data, full everything, but sometimes like data is good to show you something, but like sometimes when you're trying to, I guess like same thing we said, we try and share your funnel. We say, I'm just going to use Google Docs instead of trying to build a fancy funnel. Same thing here as well. I find that if I get too getting too caught up with like, oh, is this word going to be affecting the headline by this many percentage kind of thing? I think somebody's got to go with your gut, right? That's very cool to hear, man. I like what you're doing there as well.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of like what you like, going back to YouTube side of things, because like I also launched my YouTube channel. There's a lot of people like starting to use YouTube. There's a lot more podcasts coming out. It's crazy, overflow in a good sense. What do you learn about YouTube, if you can share with us?
For sure.
For 2026.
So with YouTube, one thing that I've noticed is like there are two different types of creators. There are one type of creators that copies everything Mr. Beast does, very loud, high pitch, fast paced intros. And then there's the second kind of creator that is very slow, cinematic, goes straight to the point, very personal, and both work. So one thing that I've learned is you need to choose the battle you want to fight. Do you want to go with the high scale dopamine hits, like I don't know how they call it, but I've forgotten how they call it, but do you want to be the one with like a lot of like flashy colors coming on your screen, a lot of dopamines every 5 seconds you're changing, there's a lot of transition, or you want to go slow, you don't want to care about YouTube? So looking at these two creators, all of them work. So if you decide on going with one, like if you look at Mr. Beast, then look at Ryan Trahan, you see that they are both separate, but they all get the views that they want to generate. So if you look at, let's say you want to go with Ryan Trahan. So what is Ryan Trahan doing? How is he structuring his intro? How is he structuring his thumbnails? How is he structuring the content, right? So once you have a structure towards the type of video, so the first thing, know the battle you want to create and you want to fight. Which type of creator do you want to be? Do you want to be the cinematic type of guy with that aesthetics and doing a lot of like cool shots and a lot of like cool things that people will see, or you want to be the very loud type of guy with quick paces, with high spectacle. That was the word I was trying to go in for. So spectacle, there's a lot of spectacle on your on your video. So once you decide on that, then you start looking for similar creators doing the same thing as you, right? So usually I have these separate logins and windows that I use. So let's say I want to I'm doing research on how do we call it, dramas, or maybe movies, or like documentaries. I have a separate Google account that I use to do research on that. So once I go onto that window, I know that okay, this time I'm going to look at people doing documentaries. Then I'll look at how they've structured it. So with documentaries, there are different types. There are ones with voiceovers, and then there are ones that have no voiceovers. And then you look at the feedback that is coming from them. Then I start like taking. So on my laptop, I have a lot of screenshots, because sometimes I go onto YouTube, then I know that I've gotten to the point where when I see a thumbnail, I know that this is a banger. Then once I check on their channel, and then I see that, hey, this guy only has about 2,000 subscribers, but this video is an outlier. Then I just like take a screenshot. Sometimes I take a screenshot and then I try to validate and see if I was correct. And then I see that, hey, it's actually working, because once you start looking and then seeing the patterns, it's very easy for you to get it. Like you've watched movies for a very long time, and now let's say you've watched thousands of episodes of maybe maybe anime, or maybe manga. You get to the point where you start seeing the repetition in every series, right? They start with the problem, then something happens, maybe 3 years something happens, and then they decide to there's a problem, then they meet someone. So the hero's journey, right? So you begin to see patterns in everything, and then once you start seeing the patterns, that's where I believe we've gotten to the stage where now you can improve upon what other people are doing, because you've seen what works, you have the structure that works, and you keep note of that. So having a structure towards what works. So this can be thumbnails, this can be titles. So you can see that a lot of people have follow the same title. So let's take First We Feast. This podcast where creators come on and they eat very spicy food and spicy meat on the podcast, right? So if you look at their titles, everything is the same. So let's say Ian, you go on to First We Feast, you say that they'll write your name first, and then they'll describe what happened in the episode. So Ian wanted to die during this, right? So they have they have a pattern that they always create. So when people see a thumbnail of theirs, they know that, oh, this is coming from Ian, this is coming from First We Face, this is coming from Mr. Beast, because they have a structure that they follow, right? So that's what I've found works. And recently I found another channel through the same process that like teachers like that took that shared his journey about him taking 10,000 steps per day, and the title was "I'm overweight." So I tried.
Oh yeah, I wrote that one.
I tried.
Good guy.
Tried walking 10,000 steps per day. First video on the channel, but one thing that made it very clear that the channel was going to blow up was if you look at the comments, and then people start saying that, hey, you have a small channel, but the amount of work you've done in there, the amount of editing, the amazing work that you're doing, why doesn't your channel have 100k subscribers? When you start seeing that comment, then you know that you're doing something good. So your storytelling is on point, your voice, your cadence, how you portray yourself online is on point, your thumbnail is on point. The thumbnail that he created was simple. There was an image of him walking, then 10,000 steps in the background, and that was it. There wasn't any fancy really like there wasn't any fancy edits to like the thumbnail. It was very simple, but it worked because of the quality of the video. So for anyone who is getting into YouTube, once you decide on the battle that you want to fight, and you need to now understand the type of quality that you want to create. So if, let's say, it takes you 6 months to create one video, go for it. It doesn't matter. People respect the amount of work you've listened to the episode or the video you've generated, and they'll watch it, and then they'll share it with their friends that, hey, this guy created a very unique subject about topic, created a unique video on this subject. It's very good because of this. And then they'll start stating the facts about the video that, hey, when I watch it, he did something with this edit. He he took his time to take to get like shots upon shots. So let's say you're documenting your day for your journey for 500, and like for me like this, like 553 days, and then I have like a video camera that is taking videos of me every day. I'll take all these videos and then I make sure that I put it together in a way that people understand. When they see the amount of work that went into it, it's very easy for them to share it because they know that, hey, this took you a very long time to get to this stage. And that is like in the fitness. Then there's this fitness video as well. Another example is like I trained myself from for 100 days until I run with Goggins. Like I don't know his first name, but Goggins, like the guy David Goggins. So that was his page. I'm going to train myself until I train with David Goggins, and he was documenting his day every day. That video, after everything was said and done for 100 days, it doesn't miss a day. Once he shared that video online, it got, right now it's sitting about 11 million views right now on YouTube. Why? Because people have seen the consistency in his video. They've seen his commitment to the work he wants to put in it, and they've seen the transformation. He was bloated in the beginning, and now he's slim, he's fit, and he's healthy. Once people see that transformation, they get that transformation in your video, then they learn from it, they go out from your video. So David Rantrian says that like transformative videos, like he wants to put something in the world that is transformative, not something that is very like, he doesn't want to put any negative videos out there. So anytime you watch Ryan Trian's video, you see yourself like smiling, right? It happens naturally because that's the type of content he creates. So once you decide on that type, and then now you start looking for similar creators, then you start like, once you start watching them, YouTube will start feeding it to you, and it's very easy. Like you can create a new Google account right now, start watching the type of content you want to create. Before long, the algorithm will start feeding you the same content, and then you start taking screenshots, and before long you start seeing the patterns. Oh, this is how they did their intro, this is how they did their outro, this is how they are doing their thumbnails, and you start experimenting. When you are a small creator without any views, you can experiment because there's no one out there to stop. You can experiment as much as you like, and as you go, you have like a data bank behind your back that, hey, this is what works for me, right? And you take it from there.
Sure. Now I'm very intrigued actually, because like, you know, like for recently we had at the end last, we had the Facebook Meta Andromeda update as well, where it's about creative, almost a bit like a thumbnail, like whatever catches the algorithm's eyes gets there as well. But now you got YouTube, which is a whole different beast in itself. Like, what are your thoughts on, like, of course, if you have no following, no email list, no brand, of course you got to start just posting content there. But how about the idea of like, because like, for example, like we're doing a podcast now, right? And I keep my podcast is very raw. Like, I rarely edit it, kind of thing. Maybe just the introduction and some outro and everything there as well. But like, you know, I always like heard to, I can't pronounce the word today, but basically making yourself different, you know, differentiation. And because like my thoughts were maybe just myself, like, continue to post content. Eventually somebody will find you. Of course, keep tweaking it, keep learning. I know there's guys that have bigger budgets, like those big companies where like Humado, for example, he spends millions a year just to like test out, like, you know, like thumbnails, outros, intros, lengths, all the kind of jazz. What are your thoughts on just like, you know, doing things a little bit different to stand out? Would that kind of help there as well? For example, like right now, everybody's doing the typical podcast where like The reel or the videos, them showing them on an angle, they're sitting on the couch. There's a mic in front of them. Same old, you know. And these days, anybody can do a podcast, right? Same as content, right? There's another guy. I on Instagram, I clicked on the three dots and said I'm not interested in this reel because this guy built his following and content just saying I've gone around to every different state to try their chickens, their roasted chickens.
Yeah.
And he's got like 247,000 followers at the time. I was like, who on earth follows this kind of like junk, right? It's nothing valuable.
Yeah.
It's not like. But I guess attention is key still, and people have different types of like interests, which is interesting. But like, any thoughts on like doing things a bit differently to stand out, or is it very much more like see what's working? Then when you start seeing results, then you can start trying different things. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Dude, like the thing is, ask yourself: is this something that I would watch myself? Is this something that I would spend my time watching? Right. So if you spend your time watching this and what you create, then like it doesn't really matter, right? But one thing that I'll say for sure is that like sometimes if you want to push your content out there are people that have gone to like Reddit forums and they try to find the niche that they are in. So let's say entrepreneur. Let's take SaaS for example. Since you're publishing a SaaS offer right now, and then maybe your partner wants to create a YouTube channel, you can go into the SaaS like Reddit and like subreddits and let him be of value to like the community. Like, okay, they ask a question, you answer in a more detailed way, and then say, oh, by the way, I had this conversation with this guy and we talked about this exact same thing here. People who find value in that will click on the video and go and watch it. Although
Sure.
it's going to like scale like the metrics, but if you're not after like the metrics in terms of, okay, are people going to watch the full thing? Are people going to, if you don't really care about that, and then you only want to provide value to the market, it's going to be, people will notice that. People will see the type of conversations you're having with your audiences. Do know the type of things to expect when they watch the video, right? So once they get onto the channel, so the podcast, once they get onto it, dude, like this guy, I listened to Darknet Diaries by Ryan and Jack Resider, right? So this particular this podcast is a very, very niched subject. He doesn't show his face. You don't know anything about him, but the reason why the podcast is very successful, and even why I'm talking about it, is the type of stories he tells in the podcast is crazy. Like some of these stories, you don't have access to them. So to make yourself different, so the experiences, the stories, the host that he brings on. So there's some of these stories like NotPetya, like the NotPetya, and then it's like this spyware that hits, like, is it Ukraine or Iran? I've forgotten, but he brings on this subject matter experts who are like in the back who are in the trenches. You don't know anything about them, and he brings them on board, and then he tells them to share their stories. Some of these people, it's very, very difficult for you to have access to them. So let's say you have a contact. I know for a fact that people have been asking this guy or lady to share their experience, to share their story, but you can't find anything about them on social media. If you're the first person to create a podcast about them and they agree to come on board and share their story, it's very easy for that to blow up, because it is something that people have been looking for a very long time, but they don't know where to get access to that. And since like you are the best guy who like connects other people, and then you also connect with people, like it's very easy. Like, okay, there's this particular guest that people want to listen to, but they themselves don't know anything about them. The story that they have, like, is very is something that people are interested in, bro. Like, people listen to that. Because the motive here is that they don't have access to this person. They don't have access to their story. But you, on the other hand, brought the access. Once a video like that pops up, the rest of the video will follow. Because someone like me, once I watch a video on your channel and then I enjoy it, I'll start watching the rest. And the same can be said to about 3 billion people on Earth.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, say if you like someone who launches that channel, yes, you got a skill set, you got access, you got this network, you got these contacts and everything, but you have no other thing to help like cross promote. You know, like if you already got an email list, very easy to say, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or like if you got a bunch of followers on Instagram or like Facebook already, it's like, hey, just subscribe or check out my video kind of thing. So for these guys, there's sometimes like, you know, I think the concerns that people who are experts or like in the field, they constantly like, am I going to just keep posting and only get maybe like 7 subscribers, right? There's some guys out there where like they've been posting for years and somehow it didn't blow up. Is it like the algorithm thing? Is it they just also like maybe they're not seeing something? Is it that they just continue like trying to do the same thing all over again? They're trying to tweak and reflect and A/B test. Like what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so to answer that question, let's take an example of like streamers, for example, because it's very hard for streamers to like blow up on YouTube. So one thing that they usually do is that they go live on maybe Twitch. They have this full VOD on their Twitch account. One thing that they start doing is like they'll take clips of what they've done and then they share it on TikTok and other platforms. So one thing that you can do is like you look for a platform that can generate a lot of views no matter what you create. So this can be like TikTok, for example. And one thing that can set you apart is like instead of you taking a clip from the podcast, you can record yourself, maybe have a green screen, you have a script. Okay, hey, Ian here, I just interviewed this guy and this is his story, this is what he did, he does, and then you have like you share the story behind the interview and then you post it online in maybe like 30 to 40 minutes, 40 seconds. You want to keep it short and straight to the point. And then now they have YouTube has a part where you can just link the full video to it. So you have a very like a shot that would send traffic to the main video. A lot of people don't love doing that, but you want to set yourself apart instead of you like just creating clips of the podcast. This is something that you can test as well. Like, okay, what can I bring? What can I do to bring value to like the channel? What can I do to the channel? And one example of that I remember is this guy that has like a channel. One thing he'll do is like he'll record himself and he says that, hey, I need your help. I just created this thing and I want you to go and watch it right now. I'll send you maybe a link up on that after the call. Sure. I've forgotten his name, but usually he'll do these shots that, hey, I'm doing this challenge. This is where I'm at right now. This is what is currently going on. If you're interested, go and hit subscribe, go and watch the video. And sometimes it blows up and sometimes it doesn't. So for people who usually will continue to record and for a very long time, let's say they record about 500 plus videos on their YouTube channel and you go onto their channel, they only have about only 1K followers. Like sometimes it's about how they are promoting their channel. Sometimes they don't even talk about it. They just wait for people to come on board. So there are multiple ways to promote it. You can go on to Reddit, you can go on to Pinterest, like show up in different places that it's very difficult for people not to see it. Like if it is something that you really, really, really enjoy, you want people to also see it, who would, let's say, a conversation that we're having right now, and believe someone would be interested in hearing about it, and you believe that this particular section, once they listen to it, is going to be of value to them. It doesn't really matter where you post it. Once people see it and then they enjoy it, they'll start saying, hey, where is the full video? Where can I watch it? And you give them a link to that. So YouTube is something in the sense that sometimes someone will create their first video and then it blows up. And then sometimes someone will create their first video and then it doesn't blow up. And you ask yourself, okay, what am I doing wrong? And it comes down to like the people, the community that would want to watch it. So if you look at the community for animators right now, they are very, very, very supportive of every new persons that come onto the community. So the animator community, like Storytime animators, right? So these guys who are new to the field, once they create an animation and they do, hey, this is my first video, sometimes it blows up. And how most of them set themselves apart is like their personality, because there's this lady Ryan Tuga, is it Ryan Tuga? No, uh, it's Tsunga, Chunga, and she's this storytime animator. And then Ringo Chunga, yeah, I remember her name. She's very new to the channel, but she has experience working with other animators. So once she launched her channel, the first thing that people resonated with is like how she spoke and her personality. She's very funny when she delivers. Like, her story is very funny that you'd want to watch it, and how she animates, like, her characters are so like insane. You go onto her channel after this, it's just like she says that she's an apple, and then she's like, even if you listen to her, you just want to continue watching the videos that she posts subsequent. So personality wise, you want to set yourself apart. Like, okay, what can you bring onto the table? What sets you apart? What's your quirk? Right? So if it is like you have a good sense of humor, you're a comedian, why don't you bring it on board? Chances are someone will enjoy that and then they'll share it.
Yeah, very true. I'm starting to get like, it's more like, rather than just, you can blindly like try multiple different ways to promote it or get more, subscribers, followers, or viewers. Or you can just even do the same thing while just doing one thing all the time and not see it work right. So I think like what I'm hearing from you is like, yeah, find where people are watching, how to kind of cross-pollinate. I mean, not like it, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Typical anything in business, right? Now, that's very interesting as well. Now, I know we don't like vanity metrics because we ran ads before as well. We run ads now. There's some people get too caught up like links. Is there any other metrics, any particular metrics in YouTube that you focus on, and anything that we should just ignore?
Yeah, so for me, it's mostly about like the views and then the watch time. If I get like 50 views, and then at 50 views, I don't think YouTube will give you like the watch time, but they'll give you. So usually when, let's say, you get about 50 views or maybe 100 views, YouTube will tell you that, hey, people are only watching up to 3 minutes of your 1 hour video. Oh, people are watching up to 2 minutes of the video that you've placed out there. So once you see that, you can say, okay, how can I improve the first 2 minutes, right? The first 2 minutes of what people are watching, so that they can watch the entire thing. So that's like what would, like, okay, if this is the parts that people are focused on, the first 2 minutes or the first 3 minutes, what can I do in this first 3 minutes that would keep people engaged, that they want to continue watching the rest? So it's all about looking at the metrics, the views, and then the watch time. And then you try to improve upon that. So let's say you do something, let's say for this podcast, for example, interview, for example, the first, they watched the first 3 minutes, and then notice that, hey, people were interested in the story that the guest was saying. The next podcast that you're going to do, maybe you ask a question that encourages them to tell a story. Then you bring that into like the first 3 minutes, or maybe the intro, or something of that sort, right? So you try to make sure that, okay, since this is the part where people are watching, let me put enough content and context in there that once they watch it, they are very, it's like you've placed them in a high state that once they lose that state, then it's like they are missing something. They want to continue watching the rest, right?
Right.
And it's like something like this. Let's say I'll say that at the end of the you need to watch this video to the end. At the end, I'm going to provide you with the 3-step formula that I follow to create viral videos. I'll not give it to you in the first 20 minutes. Watch till the end, and then I'll tell you how to get it. And then we continue with the conversation. Then at the end of the video, I'll say that if you want to get this checklist, go to this place. So you see that people want to listen to the end to get that part, to get the guide or to get the framework. So the payoff is at the end.
Very interesting. It's very intriguing. I know there's a lot of things that still work, but like for me personally, like when I see like definitely. I talked to another guy, I think in another part of Australia, like he said like the cringiest thing he had to do for his YouTube or for like it's like take different pictures of him being shocked, like those faces you see in the YouTube thumbnails.
Yeah.
And then also he has to like I had to subscribe to CapCut to get to the different audios and different like like transition sounds and everything. And like I'm thinking like honestly when I see those kind of thumbnails where people like are like shocked or they're pointing at something, right? It's like it's just for me it's like my first thing comes to mind is like, oh, it's just gonna be one of those like it's probably gonna be very good content, but it's very like it's become very standardized, right? I'm not sure it's the right word, standardized, whereas like do people start to then tune out when they start seeing the same style of thumbnail, the same style of introduction where it's like the little eerie noise that introduces the whole thing. There's more like switch back and forth, and then of course like like Diary of CEO when the guest about to drop a big mega like mic drop sort of answer, it cuts out and goes straight into the introduction. I mean, that's great. That's great cinematics. That's what we like to watch, right? On like movies and TV shows and anime and whatnot. But do you find that those kind of things like can also deter people away? People tune out to like the thumbnails. Like how what you reckon of the current situation right now?
So if you are talking about like thumbnails, what's I've seen people doing that is like working is they take like the first frame of like the video that they've created. So the first frame of the video that they've created is like their thumbnail. So once someone clicks on a thumbnail, they see exactly what is happening in the first place. So let's say you mentioned in your video that hey, I'm going to visit my friend in the United States, and then you show in the thumbnail you show yourself with your friend. Maybe your friend is somewhere and let's say like you're hiding from your friend. The first frame is like when people click on the thumbnail, you want to give them the payoff that hey, this what I said in the thumbnail, this is exactly it's in the video. But where it is going to happen is in a different section. So in the intro, the first 30 seconds, we show them exactly what they've clicked on. It's like the payoff is like you created an offer that hey, I'm going to teach you to do this. You have to provide upon that promise. So YouTube is the same thing. The thumbnail is your promise that hey, I promise you that when you click on this video, this is what you're going to get. It's like you say that you're going to create an invincible sword. So in the first 30 seconds, you have to create a shot that shows you using the invisible sword. Whether you edit it in such a way that it makes sense or it comes down to like editing magic, right? So the first frame, you tell people that hey, this is what I've promised you that you're going to get. Then they click on the video, then there is the payoff. But to get to that payoff, there's a contest to where we are currently. Then they'll now watch the video and then they see the journey. Then they'll watch like so for now YouTube will like separate the audiences. So people only want to see that first frame and then they are gone. But the people that will stick around and then watch the entire video are your audience, right? So those are the people that I want to focus on. You want to focus on the people who click on the video on the thumbnail and then watch the entire thing. They want to listen to the story. They want to listen and see your process, your journey, and then they'll be hit with the dopamine again with the payoff, and then they'll leave feeling fulfilled, right? But again, in the beginning of our conversation, I mentioned having the two battles you need to face, whether you want to go the Mr. Beast route or you want to go with like the story cinematic kind of style of video. With the cinematics, the people who are going like artistic and cinematics, they don't really care about what they do in the first intro, but there's a payoff that hey, I've promised you that we are going to do this and we are going to be living on the road in a van. They'll show you the van that they are going to be using, but they don't really care about doing a lot of transitions. The video can be slow. The video can be not fast paced. There can be a lot of pauses, but people will watch it. And then there's the different kind of video that there's no pause. There's always something happening. There's always high spectacle happening. So once you decide on the type of personality you want to be online, then you start. It's like, bro, it's very easy to get to the state where you don't get any views, and then you start thinking to yourself that hey, this thing is not working. But with all these big YouTubers online, they also started with 0 subscribers. Some took
Of course,
years,
yeah.
decades, and then they got to where they are right now. So don't like compare yourself to like someone's 10 years in like the space, right? So but you can learn from what they are doing. You can learn from the structure of their video. Maybe you want to create this 20-minute video and then you see an example of it. This is what you need to talk about. This is what you can talk about. And then once you find that structure, then you ask yourself, okay, what can I put into this that would make it mine? And then you take it out there.
Sure. No, it's interesting, and definitely I don't really jump ship because something didn't work first, second, even
Yeah.
like the first 10 times as well.
Mm.
That is good, man. It's very interesting. I'm learning a lot. Definitely for those ones that on YouTube or get better in YouTube, it's very interesting there as well.
For sure.
But yeah, this is actually really cool. It's really cool. I honestly I think it's quite interesting what's happening for 2026. So right now is like you're kind of doing different offers here as well.
Mhm.
Are you like now going to be focusing on consulting for YouTube channels, or are you gonna? I mean, aside from your other like workshops and everything, like what's YouTube gonna look like for you? It's gonna be for your own self. Are you gonna also like do an offer in the future? Like what's gonna look like?
Yeah, so for YouTube, it's I would say it's both consulting plus like also helping other creators as well with their channels, right? So it's not only about me. Obviously, I need to do it myself so that I can show people that hey, I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you to do. I don't want to be the one who show and don't tell. I want to be the guy who is like also doing it and then telling that hey, I'm also doing YouTube on my own. This is my channel. This is what I've done. This is what I'm doing. This is the experiments that I'm working on. This is what I'm seeing. So based on my experiments that I do, and I come to that, and maybe you come to me and then say that, hey, Alex, help me with my YouTube channel. It's very easy for me to see what works because right now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I spend a lot of time on YouTube, right? And if I go into like my folder, there's a lot of right now. I have it open, and the first thing that hits me is like screenshot upon thumbnails. There's a lot of thumbnails here that I have here, and then like it's crazy. So once I come in here, I say, oh, this is what works. And so I'm looking at a thumbnail right now, and then it's just like a gradient, a white and black gradient background with a vertical video that they've placed it like horizontal. So that's the thumbnail. I'll send this to you later on, but it's very let me see. It's like it's different from what you see on what people do out there, right? So once you see a thumbnail like this and you start asking yourself, okay, how can I take what this guy has done and then fix it to what I'm trying to do? Then you see two different formats, right? And I say, okay, since these are two formats that are really going viral, I can just smash them together and then create something different. And most of YouTube is like seeing what works and then like doing the same spin on your own. Like, and so I sent that image to you. It's like it's different, and like you just see what works and then try to see, okay, this is what people are doing out there. I'm just going to do the same. Okay, this is the winning formula. How can I do the same for myself?
Yeah, I'm looking at this my phone right now. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay, it's very cool, man. No, this is a bit like a masterclass of YouTube. I think we're discussing what we're going to talk about today, and this became more like a YouTube masterclass. I think, I don't know, like it's very cool. I like it because like sometimes people can just go like, I just want to promote it and do what I want, and like I'm the kind of guys I'm going to do this regardless of like I'm still going to do like the interviews and podcasts regardless of the views kind of thing. But some people definitely want to monetize it. Every content creator out there, like we talk about the publishing side, things like, I want to get 10,000 subscribers, or I want to get paid the AdSense and everything from YouTube or Google, etc. It's very interesting. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
But Alex, this has been great. I definitely want to respect your time. So where can people find you best?
Yeah.
Regarding publishing, marketing, or then YouTube and everything as well.
For me, it's been a while. I don't really want to be using social media but you can find me on like Facebook at Alex Humado on Facebook, and I also have the channel that's the Publishers Journal that's on YouTube. So that's where I do breakdowns. I have interviews on there. You can also see Ian on there as well, and I have other guests that I am bringing on weekly now. So I want to keep that momentum of like interviewing publishers, author owners, and then trying to get behind the scenes on seeing what works, what's working in the info space, what's working for them, and how they are scaling to 10K per day, sometimes even higher than that. I want to actually know that how are people like, because for someone in Africa like this, and then you tell me that you're spending 10K per day, if you convert that into Ghana cedis, that's about 100,000 or so Ghana cedis. That's crazy amounts they are spending per day. And not everyone in Ghana has that. They can work all their life and not get that, right? And that's a huge sum of money that people are spending. Let's say I go to a meetup and then I tell people that, hey, this person is spending 100,000 Ghana cedis per day on this. They'll tell you that you are crazy. Why are you spending that amount? But they are getting the results. I want to go behind the scenes and ask why. Why at all are you spending this amount? What's the results that are bringing in? What are you doing differently? And on this for these conversations that I've been having, it's like they're not doing anything different. All that they are doing is they have an offer, they have creatives that they're testing every day, and then this is the budget that per chance they've gotten because of the money that they have. So if you're making 10 million per year, it's very easy for you to spend 10K per day on ads. It's correlative. Like you have this amount up there, and then this is how much you can spend per day. So if you're only making 100,000 per year, that means you can spend 1K per day on ads, because you get the result, because you are going to get 100K at the end of the day. So that's like what you need to give up to get the result that you want. And for people that don't even have like money, they are like going hard on organic. They are the ones that will try every style of video out there and then try to push themselves out there to see, okay, I don't have the money out now, but I have the time and resources to show myself or create video content and then connect with the audience out there. And it's crazy because I'm on Twitter and then you see this 14-year-olds creating applications, and then you see their apps like blowing up and then getting users, and you ask yourself, what are they doing at all? What they are doing is they are creating video content and then they are sharing it online. They are sharing their story. Then they tell people that, hey, I'm 14, but I'm doing this, join the journey, and people are coming on board. So it's all about what you can do to get the result that you want to do. How much are you willing to give up? Some people have given up work-life balance. Some people have given up going to parties. Some people have given up a lot of things because of what they believe they want to achieve, and then they are going hard on that every single day.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Thank you so much. You definitely put the links in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
One final one actually came to mind. I think the final question for those interested in YouTube is like, what do you foresee is the current trends that's going to come up now with YouTube? Considering there's AI now producing a lot of, and some people call AI slop.
Yeah.
It's making editing a lot faster. There's a lot of different things. But besides AI, is there anything you're noticing that's going to come up for maybe the second half of 2026 for those who want to focus on content, videos, and whatnot?
So with what I'm seeing with AI, especially with the AI content right now, you see this kind of skit where they have people talking to each other. Like you have a skit where there's a conversation happening between two people. Now with AI, they can have a second personality that's like they are talking to. That's like they'll generate a different person, and then it's like they're having a conversation. Let's say like what we talked about right now.
Way versus blue way?
Yeah. Just so instead of having a skit where they are talking to themselves, they can have an AI personality that they talk to, and then they add that into the I've not seen like big people doing it, but I was watching a video of this guy teaching people how to edit, and then like he's talking to a separate entity about, hey, this is what I'm doing, and the person is giving him advice. So like from a third person, so he's like the one receiving. It's like he's putting himself in a place of the one who is needing help, like his audience, and then you have this personality who is like the expert teaching him what to do. Then sometimes he'll not listen to that expert, and then he'll do his own thing, and then he'll find success in it. So I'll send you a link of that video, because like it's very crazy, and it's very like it's different in a way that it's like a movie that you're watching on YouTube, right? So sometimes people say I'm on YouTube Premium, but it's YouTube free.
Yeah, amazing. Now we'll keep that in mind as well. I think probably good for ads as well.
Yeah.
But Alex,
Yeah.
this is wonderful, man. Like I learned a lot today as well, and yeah, man, we'll stay in touch, and yeah, have a blessed day, bro.
Yep. Thank you as well, man. It's great to be on the pod for a second time. It's an honor. This is like the first podcast that I've been on it for the second time. So thank you so much for having me on, and it was great like sharing my experience, and also like sharing what I know. I still have a lot to improve in terms of like YouTube, but one thing that I know for sure is that I'll continue to put in the work, and before long it's going to be entirely different when we talk again.
Thanks for tuning in to the Shifan Show. If you're a business owner who's ready to modernize a business and use AI automation to increase its sales while claiming back their own time, give us a call at www.prosperumdigital.com.au. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as we're now on YouTube, and give us a follow